today working on another song, going through all of the individual tracks, trying to fix the mix and yeah, show you how I do my mixing and get my sound.
Turn it up, feel the high, feel it now, we're running. Breathe it in, let it go, feel the high, feel it all, we're running. Running, running, running.
Hey guys, I had so far an amazing Saturday. It started off with quite a lot of breakfast.
We're running.
With really nice company. Vanessa's sister was there and her husband. I'm here with Vanessa, Larissa, her sister, and Max. Then we did just a little bit of shopping. Again, one of these stores with useless stuff. We went back home and tried to watch the wedding video. There's just one little problem. They have the wedding video on a DVD. We don't have a DVD player. My MacBook doesn't play DVDs. So I'm trying to get it to run with the Wii, and I doubt that this will work. This unfortunately didn't work out, but the two are, in the meantime, they're fidget pros. So we got something to cheer us up. Are you happy with your currywurst?
Yes, I am.
That's like a big portion.
No!
Are you sure you can handle it?
Absolutely.
I got myself also a little treat. Max as well, and Vanessa with her
sisters.
Yeah. The weather was just amazing. We had quite a nice walk to the city center. Of course, with more shopping and free champagne. I could get used to it. Then just back home, and I thought, why not go to the studio and try at least for 2 or 3 hours to just get some work done. I mean, it's a Saturday, but still there is so much to do, and I really prefer being here than at home and cleaning up and that kind of stuff. Still also have quite a lot of business things to take care of and a ton of emails. I'm really extremely happy to receive so many demos for the Accents label, and if you still want to send me something, the link or the email is down below in the description. I'm really happy to receive any style of music. The label is really open. I will keep it open for any kind of style. I'm really into everything as long as it's good and maybe a little different than the rest and just kind of catches me emotionally, and I just like to share it. So just send it over, you will get feedback, I will respond to you, no problem. Just please don't attach the file in the email. Maybe a private SoundCloud link, a Dropbox link, or WeTransfer, something like that. And please, no edits or remixes. There is no way I can release them on my label. You would have to ask the copyright owner and would probably have to release with their label, if they even respond to you, depending on which track you're sampling or covering. You know, I've been already thinking for quite some while to do another remix contest. The last one was so much fun. I got so many good submissions. I'm still not really sure which track to choose. I will let you vote for it. All of my tracks that I've released since Dawning are available. So Dawning, All About, Dancing With Our Hearts, Shadows of You, and also the new Fall track. Let me know which one of those 5 you would prefer to remix. The voting will be up there or there, I think, here, yes. And this time I will definitely not work again together with Wavio. They organized the last remix contest, and I didn't really like how you had to register to be even part of the remix contest. And the site didn't really work, the uploading sometimes didn't really work, and without Facebook I think you couldn't really participate, which was just really bad. I think everyone should be able to participate in the remix contest. I will definitely do it without them. I also had to pay them for do some promotional stuff. Actually, my management organized that, and it didn't quite work as they promised. They promised numbers that they never reached. They didn't even get close to it. It was a huge disappointment. I will definitely try and get sponsors to give you nice prices. Isotope was so nice the last time to give away their biggest plugin package to the first winner and also plugins to the second and third place. So I will ask them, maybe they're on board, and maybe also some other plugin software developers. I just somehow have to try and find the time for it, because I'm like every day in the studio at least like 6, 8, 9 hours working on music, then like 2 hours working on business stuff, taking care of the label, signing new artists, promoting the tracks. The fall release is in less than 2 weeks, and there are a lot of things I have still to take care of. So somewhere in between I will try and find the time to organize the remix contest and hopefully like get everything done this year. So maybe start the remix contest in 2 months or 1.5 months, I'm still not sure, and then let it run for 2 or 3 months. So end of the year, maybe beginning of the next year, have the winners announced. I'm kind of a little bit stuck with the final warning track with Aaron, so I'm just switching to the We Runnin' track, try to like improve a couple of things and actually go through all of the individual tracks and try to advance with the mixing on this track. It's right now still as I left it after the session with Gavin. I just arranged it and didn't do anything to any of the sounds or the vocals. It's still very rough, so trying to just take the next step. Let me just give you a run through to my entire mixing process. I first of all mute all of the tracks and start just with the kick. Go into the EQing of the kick, removing a little bit of the bottom end, of course listening a whole lot to the kick. I think removing a little bit more of the high end could help it. Next up is the top kick. I already cut it away the very low end, but I think I can even go up to 800 Hertz here in this case. Next up is the clap and snare. I already made it wide with the sample delay, and I also applied a little bit of EQing, getting rid of the very bottom end again. The reverb is on bus number 5. It's the Valhalla vintage verb with 0.77 seconds. I have right after it a compressor that is sidechaining the claps, or actually the reverb of the clap. So every time the kick hits, the reverb is also lowered. This makes the reverb sound snappier, more groovy, and gives the kick more room. At the end, an EQ for the reverb, also making sure there's nothing left on the bottom end. The off hi-hat has a lot of low frequencies that it just doesn't need for being in the mix, playing at the same time as the other elements, so cutting it quite high. Adding a little bit of reverb, just a small reverb with 0.5 seconds of decay time. Then I got this reversed head sound here. Also cutting it, reverb on top, bus number 4, that's the small reverb. Just a tiny bit. That's the first guitar part. It's right now completely unedited. There's just a reverb on top. So first up EQing. And even on the bass, the lowest part here with the kick, I cut away everything below 50 Hertz. Just went really quick through all of the different tracks just to get a feel for them and see how the balance compares to the drums that I already mixed. And I'm now working like on the main guitar part, also EQing it, adding reverb, maybe a tiny bit of distortion just to give it a little bit more weight in the mix. And then it's all about just, yeah, really listening carefully to the track and see where the problems are, trying to find that out, analyze that. Because most of the time when I'm sitting here and producing music, it's usually listening to it, thinking about it. Like the doing, the clicking, and the trying out is probably like the smallest part. And I like kind of to, yeah, have the idea already about the track, about what I want to achieve in my head, and then try to get there somehow. Sometimes you end up with something different on the way trying to get there, but at least I have a goal that I try to reach. Okay, I think I'm done with the mixing, the rough mixing of this track. I already applied a couple of effects to the vocals. I still didn't correct the pitch or anything like that. just used, yeah, maybe let me just really quick run you through what I did with the vocals. I think it's quite interesting, and I did it in a way I never did it before. Got here in this part, I think it's, yeah, it's the second verse. I got two vocals, like the main vocal and the same lyrics, just sang an octave higher.
Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
And that's the top one.
Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
Both together.
Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
Having the low and the high makes it way more interesting, so if you ever get a singer and songwriter into your studio, definitely make sure to do a couple of takes, higher, lower, try it out, maybe some harmonies in between, and also ad-libs, just that you have everything and can play around and make it fit to the instrumental. I first applied to the main part an EQ, just getting rid of the very low end and boosting the high frequencies. Then I used the vocal rider just to reduce the dynamic and let the rider do the automation for me, so I don't have to go in there and write them. After that, a compressor, and one of the advantages of the vocal rider is that you might have to use less compression, because I think compressing vocals too hard sounds a little bit too artificial, and this is kind of a compromise. The vocal rider is doing half of it the compressor. Then I got my standard reverb bus for vocals. It's also the Valhalla Vintage Verb, and I made a new bus, number 17, with the new Soundtoy plugin that I just recently got, the crystallizer. Let's compare the dry vocal to the one with all of the effects.
Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running. Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
Especially the reverb and the crystallizer make it really interesting. I have here the splice set to 16s, the delay to 18. And I tried it out with the reverse, but this was already like too much going on. With the higher vocal, I also EQ'd it. I also used the vocal rider and the compressor just to get the dynamics in check. Used the same reverb, but a little bit less, and a bus that I always have on bus 14. It's the chorus of Logic. This way, this vocal is really, really wide.
Turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
Again, without the effects.
Turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
And now both together. The high one is just mixed into it slightly, just to give it that little feel and have something that sits wide on top of the main vocal.
Up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running.
The vocal still sits a little bit on top of the mix. I will now try to mix it more in, carve out frequencies in the other elements to give it even more space, but still have it in the mix. And also then maybe correcting the pitch already, taking care of getting rid of little clicks that might be in the recording. And yeah, just try to get as far as possible with this track. This was an extremely successful mixing session. On Saturdays, less people annoy me with phone calls and emails. I could really just focus on making music. Let's compare what the track was sounding before I started today and what it is sounding right now.
Turn it up, turn it out, feel the high, feeling now we're running. Breathe it in, let it go, feel the high, feel it all, we're running.
I think that's definitely heading into the right direction, and for the limited amount of time I had today in the studio, quite good. Just need to finish it. As always, that's the hardest part. What's also hard is deciding tonight to either go out and party with a DJ friend or stay at home and watch the new season of House of Cards. I heard it's amazing, so tough choice.